Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Shemaine, aka Terry McGinnis, and I'm coming at you with some Battlefield 4 Domination gameplay. It's pretty average. I'm not the best player in the world, but I love to play this game, and so that's the gameplay you're going to be seeing in the background. But the topic of this video is about TitanFall and the recent news that dropped about 6 versus 6, 12-player head count on maps. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard the news, I was a little put off. I was a little disappointed in myself. I thought the game was gonna be around 10 versus 10, 20 versus 20 possibly, just considering that it's basically a multiplayer only game. So I thought it was going to have a little bit more than 6 versus 6. So I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I was a little disappointed at first. And it got huge backlash on Twitter. People were calling it lazy, people were calling it shameful, stupid, disappointing, I'm gonna cancel my pre-order, all kinds of dumb shit. But the more I thought about it, I was thinking to myself, why am I criticizing a game that I've never played before? It doesn't make any sense. Now, if you actually had hands-on experience with the game and think, you know what, 6 versus 6 is not enough, then that's your opinion. And you, for one, have got to play the game before most of anyone else, so you're lucky. And if that's what you think, then you know what, you have formulated your opinion based on the experiences that you have. Now, for those of us who haven't played the game, it doesn't make any sense while we're talking, basically not really talking shit, but why we're not satisfied with it when we never played it. We don't know how it works. We don't know if it would be a little too much if it was too many players, a little bit more than 6 versus 6. We don't know that, so we really have no right to go ahead and give our opinion on that, considering we've never played the game. And I believe what a lot of people are forgetting is that, yes, it's only 12 human players, but there's also 12 more on each side that are AI controlled. There are 6 grunts, which are basically AI human players, and then there's also 6, I forget the name, they're pretty much like androids, robots, and that's a very general term, but I can't remember their name at this point. They are also on your side, and they're fighting, and they can also be changed from one team to the other depending on the equipment that you carry. There's a specific knife you can stab somewhere in a hole, and that like rewires their programming to go ahead and fight for your team. So you have to also have those. And another thing to keep in mind is once a player calls in a Titan, if you're not piloting that Titan, if you're having guard or follow you, that's a whole nother player in and of itself. Not only that, but the AI controlled human grunts can call in Titans as well, so that's a whole nother player. Like, it's going to build up, and it's around 40 players a match, considering all that can, actually 40 plus players a match, considering all that can go down with Titans called in by not only human players but also AI players. So people really need to keep that in mind. One thing I think people don't really seem to understand is there's a good quote that this kind of hits the nail on the coffin. It's I'm reading this off of a Polygon article that was done with one of the Respawn lead designers, which you should really go check it out. I'll link it in the description below. There's a quote that says, essentially there are 5 directions you can get killed from. The higher the player count, the more likely you are to get killed from behind. The more difficult it is to manage your surroundings. Now, we already have 6 versus 6. People need to realize that it's not always going to happen on the streets. You are going to be in a lot of different buildings, and there's a nice sense of verticality, considering that there's a roof, there's about 3 stories, and you can come in from ground floor and through any windows at any given point in time. So that's going to create that close quarter combat feel that we all love from the Call of Duty series. And these guys are not mainly responsible, but a lot of them are, for creating Call of Duty 4, which was a fantastic game. It's my favorite COD, and it's my favorite COD and the best COD in my opinion. And I think it's gonna be pretty well recreated within the buildings themselves. And I like the sense of verticality. It gives a whole new dynamic to the game, is what I'm thinking. Let me see. There's another quote on here that's really good. It just it goes back to the whole, criticizing the game before you even played it. It's when people start playing Titanfall like Titanfall, the player count becomes a non-issue. And that just basically goes back to, how are you gonna say and give your opinion on a game that you've never played before? It really doesn't make sense. The logic isn't there. So I just want people to just realize that this game's gonna be great, and you need to get your hands on it before you can formulate an opinion. And that's what I'm gonna do after it launches. Once I pick up my pre-order copy, then I'm gonna give my impressions on it. But that's about it, you guys. Don't judge a book by its cover just because it says one thing. You gotta play the damn game. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.